So look, we got some news here about Multiversus. The writing for Multiversus has been on the wall for a while. And like I always say, whenever I talk about rumors, I usually don't like to talk about rumors unless I really got something to say. And we have been covering Multiversus on this channel for a good while. You can see from the beginning of on my other channel, the OG version, you can see from the beginning when Multiversus first came out, how hype and excited I was, and I started seeing the cracks and the chinks in the armor, and I started saying, yo, y'all saying y'all gonna pack it up, y'all gonna close the doors for a little bit to the restaurant, y'all gonna sweep the floor, y'all gonna mop the walls. I mean, you know what I mean, like y'all gonna clean up the insides, you gonna change out a couple of the machines, you gonna fire the staff that was calling the customers all types out their name. They was calling the customers all types of hoe and bitch ass niggas. You said you was gonna fire them and you was gonna hire some nicer staff. We come back to the store. Not only is the staff that was in there calling everybody a bitch still there, now it's their cousin that's 10 times worse as them, and they other cousin that got 16 felonies and is trying to take the quickest trip back to jail. They in there with a Draco in their waistband like this, talking to customers like, yo, what you want, bro? What you want? You here to buy something? Buy something, there, ho. Funny. Oh, funny, ho, and bitch. Over there threatening the customers, got the customers scared, shaking their boots. Not good, man. That's not good at all. So, my main thing was the monetization had the over monetization, and Multiversus needed to be cleaned up. We get it, you're a business, you're trying to make money. But don't make a free-to-play game if you're not ready for people to play it for free. Let me say that again. Don't make a free-to-play game if you're not ready for people to play it for free. If you want to offer people a full-price game, then offer them a full-price game. If you want to offer people a free-to-play game, you know what comes with that? The fact that a good majority of the people playing your game will never spend a cent on it. Never. And even if, let's say, half your user base, which is an insanely, incredibly high number, but let's say half your user base does spend money on your game, you can't expect that to be consistent. And out of that few people that are whales, you gotta cherish and respect them, but you can't hold them so high up over the free users that unless you whale on the game, you might as well not play the game. That was Multiversus' biggest problem. Because I'm not gonna lie, the ideas they had with the story mode were actually kind of cool with the whole with the whole implementation of like the map system and like the story and the cutouts and the cutscenes every season. So every 2 to 3 months we was getting a new cutscene that was gonna have a bunch of these characters interacting with each other. Some of the characters and the ideas that they put in this game were pretty cool. The combat system, in my opinion, before they folded and added shields, was really fucking good and different from Smash and Melee in general. The high advanced level tech from this game, like you could tell that the skeleton of it is a platform fighter, but that is completely different from any of his competitors, and not only game speed, but in terms of character utility, in terms of movement, in terms of just all the competitive things and things in relation to the gameplay systems in this game were just different. But they folded because a bunch of people who only play Ultimate, or a bunch of people who play Melee, or a bunch of people who play Brawlhalla came over to this game and they stomped their feet and they said, I'm mad, this is not the game that I'm going to go back to anyway. And they tried to make it like the game that people were gonna go back to anyway, and guess what happened? They went back to their game and now they're not playing Multiversus. And reports came out a little while ago where WB had like a finance business meeting of some kind where they were talking and they was like, yo, I'm gonna keep it a G with you. We lost like 100 million on Multiversus. That's not the exact number, but they was like, we lost way more on Multiversus than we ever should have without the ability or the idea or the hope to ever recoup. And like I said, they didn't fix none of the shit that was the actual problem in the game. They just sat there and they imagine I'm playing a piano and going this is what they did. They pretended they was blind. They said we're gonna add more characters, we're gonna add more characters, we're gonna add more characters. They started adding fan favorite characters like Raven from the 03 Teen Titans, Marceline from Adventure Time. It didn't fucking matter. Nobody wanted to play the game by that goddamn point. So you're adding all these characters that people, and you could go back in my video. They added characters that people look at, say, oh man, this is so cool. They boot up the game, can't even play as the character unless you pay for the character. And then if there's another character in the game you want to play, you gotta pay for them too. Then they tried to add the Fighters Road, which was honestly a worse system. It's like, bro, just everything at a design aspect for quality of life in this game was fucking terrible because they tried to lock shit behind a paywall. And the thing about locking things behind a paywall in a video game is either you lock one thing behind a paywall, that being the price of the game, you charge 20, 30, 40, 50, however many dollars for the game, and then just give everybody everything in the game, maybe offer some DLC expansions for depending on what type of game it is, here and there. That's that. Or you make the game free and you offer cosmetic stuff. Okay? That's what you're supposed to do. But Multiversus, they thought they could get away with that. They thought, we have IP. They thought, we have IP that people absolutely love and that people just have, they all have their own individual big fandoms. So what if we put all those things together in one place and make it so that people can play a game where they play as all their favorite IP? They're gonna love it. They're gonna all empty out their wallets on it, right? No, they're not. They thought they had a Fortnite level financial success on their hands. Really, they had nothing there. And now rumors are coming out that this game may shut down. And I said this a few months ago. This game has no chance of surviving long term for the simple fact they try and nickel and dime you for everything. Nobody wants to boot up a game. Nobody wants to come home from a hard day of work to boot up a game to every 5 seconds, every 2 button presses, you see a pop up in an ad. Buy. It's not fun. And that thing I said is a sad thing about it is if this game right now shuts down because this game is client side and WB will not give a fuck about giving away the assets or none of that so that the game will remain in a somewhat playable state or that somebody can mod it into a playable state because they don't want to give out their IP without trying to figure out a way to nickel and dime people, that this game is essentially gonna become unplayable because in order to get on this game you gotta log in, and when you log in, the game is still client side. It's sad to see in real time, but let's see what this rumor is talking about. Wait, who is this person? A known Multiversus leaker. Also, just for legal reasons, I have to say, I am assuming that all information here is fake, made up, bullshit information, and that's how you should take it as such. All of this is just stuff I'm throwing out there and yapping about. That being said, let's read what this known leaker said. Multiversus Season 5 may be the final season of Multiversus depending on how it performs, which is not going to be great because let's look at the Steam charts numbers. Multiversus. And yes, I know that because Multiversus is a fighting game, more people play it on console, but any game with a strong player base will have a strong player base on all platforms. And if we look at it, this shit is doing Concord release date numbers. Now again, like I said, we don't know the console numbers, so we don't know how many people are playing on Xbox, we don't know how many people are playing on PlayStation, or whatever other platforms this is available on. Like let's see. No. Yeah, we don't know how many people are playing on PS4, 5, Xbox One, Series SX, and Epic, because this is also available on Epic Games. This is only the Steam number. But if we assume that, let's say the numbers are double on console, right? So that'll be 1,200. So that's 1,200 for Xbox, we'll assume. So that's 1,200 by 4. What's 12 times 4? I don't know 12 times 4 off the top of my head. So 12 times 2 is 24. 48. So let's assume that if on each platform, which are all like the console platforms, 12 times 5. So that's 48, 49, 90, carry the 1 over, 4, 5, 61? No. Yeah, 61, I believe. What the fuck? Wait, I don't want to seem like a dumbass. I believe that's 61. 12 times 5. No, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Nope, 60. It's not 61, it's 60. Alright, so boom. Even if we assume that with Multiversus is double on every other platform, that give us 6,000 people playing across all platforms. That's not even enough people to fill a small stadium. That's barely enough people to fill a small concert. 6,000 people playing across the whole world at any given time. Time to close them fucking doors. Time to shutter them doors. You ain't making no money, and the purpose of a business is to make money. You're not making any. So you know what you do when you're a business and you're doing something that's costing you more money than you're making from it? You either close the door or you have something that makes so much money that you losing money on that thing doesn't matter. And I'm not gonna lie, not Multiversus, WB right now, they're in a bad shape. They don't have that. So the best option is to close it the fuck down and try and make Hogwarts Legacy 2 live service. But that's gonna fucking suck. But we'll see when it comes out. Depending on how it performs, like I said, it's gonna perform ass. While preferencing that this isn't confirmed yet, a notable source has shared this rumor with me, stating season 5 may be a last-ditch effort for the game. Okay, let's work at hypotheticals. Let's say it is a last-ditch effort for the game, right? The number one thing, look. I'm manifesting that like Big Tony sees this video and he hears the cries of the Multiversus community. The people that actually would love to play this game but can't because the monetization is so in the way of the fighting system. I can't even play the fucking game and have fun. The things I would want to see out of Multiversus is number 1, make all the characters free. Cut this Fighters Road, Gleamium, buy the character shit. Cut that shit out. All the characters in the game free. Or if you're not going to make them free because you don't want to upset the people that paid real money for their characters, make it more achievable. Make it so that within an hour or 2 of gameplay, I can unlock the character. Also, make the prices for when people buy the characters cheaper. Niggas is not paying $15 to play as Raven. Okay? The average person, you ask them to pay $15 to play as Raven on a free-to-play game is, you know what their response is going to be? Can I unlock it for free? Really, their response is going to be, oh, well, time to cut this game off and uninstall it. But in a case where they really do want to play the game, their response is going to be, can I unlock it for free? And when the answer is borderline no, they're going to go, what the fuck does that even mean? And get the fuck off the game. So I really want to say, make the characters free, but I understand you want to nickel and dime people. But if you're going to nickel and dime people, don't nickel and dime people up the wazoo. Nickel and dime them small amounts. Make them characters. First off, make it like a $20 pass or a $20 pack or something like that, where you could pay $20 and you unlock every character in the game and every future character. That's number 1. Number 2, after you do that, make every character easier to earn with in-game currency. The way that the story mode works with the dumbass shit, remove that completely. There's no debates. There's no if, ands, or buts. Just remove that system completely. Remove that gym system completely. You can get away with charging for the characters in some instances. If it was cheaper, you would get away with charging for every character in the game. If it was cheaper. But it's not. But story mode, in no way, shape, or form will niggas accept a story mode that is pay to win in a fighting game. Niggas barely want to play fighting game story modes, and then you telling me that the story mode that is there, that there's a low chance that I want to play, is pay to play? Fuck pay to win, pay to play. I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna care. Why would I want to play it on higher difficulties? I can't. They locked behind a paywall. That's number one. Number two, take away some of them gym systems. Stop making the gym system so confusing. Why do I gotta buy this gym for this thing, then this gym for this thing, and then once I buy it, I gotta convert it from gym to gym to gym to gym? Quit that dark pattern shit. It's not working. It's not working out. If this rumor is true, again, it's a hypothetical imaginary, but let's imagine this rumor is true. You're going broke. Well, actually, that part's not even a rumor. We do know you're going broke off of this game. This game sales are going triple plastic. You know how in Marvel Rivals they got bronze 3, silver. This shit is quadruple paper plate. Not even triple paper plate, quadruple paper plate. Nigga, this shit is 4x oxygen. All right? The rank of this game in WB's profits is below profitable. You know how you make this game profitable? You stop charging up the wazoo for everything. That's number one. Number two, what you do, actually, I got a good idea. Okay, so boom. Here's a way you can make the characters free but still make money. Make all of the characters free and then sell the cosmetics. And for the people who previously brought the characters, let's say they brought the characters and they don't have all the skins unlocked. They get to pick one of any of the skins, whether it's a past limited time event skin, current skin, whatever. For the people who paid, they get one skin, or actually 2 skins off that character for free. They don't have to pay anything extra up front. They get 2 skins. And if they don't get 2 skins off that character for free, whatever the next 2 skins that release, they automatically get those for free. Or they could choose to get those for free, choose to get skins off another character. You could work out the details and iron out the kinks, because you niggas is the developers, not me. But that would be an amazing system, so that the people who brought the characters get fairly compensated, and that the people who are playing the characters and whatnot, who are coming into the game to play those characters, get an option, get a chance to play those characters. Because another thing about playing characters in a fighting game is when you want to try out characters, trying out characters in training mode is cool, but it's not enough. Not enough at all. So what y'all should do is let all the characters be free, so that more people can play the characters, so that more people can try out the characters and see if they like them. Then, if I like a character a lot and I play him a lot, guess what I'm gonna want to do? Stand out from everybody else playing this character. How do I do that, you might ask? Skins. Right now, what WB is doing is they're working hard and not smart. Like, basically, what they're doing right now is they are speed running, making a failing game, right? So not only would you have to make it so that people can actually play the characters, not only would you have to make it so that the game is like actually free to play, even on the story front. Another thing you would have to do, and in my opinion, this is just me, is make it so that the game isn't client side. Make it so that if I want to play this game offline, no internet connection, I can. Cause let me let y'all in on a little secret. Hold on. Let me put the music. Let me let y'all in a little secret. Come closer. Now make sure when I say this, make sure you turn your volume down. When I say this, make sure all the windows are closed. Make sure all the doors are locked. Make sure those windows are locked too. Make sure you're in a room that's completely soundproof. And if you ain't got no soundproofing, what I need you to do is turn your phone to literally one volume. Put it next to your ear. Put a pillow over your head. Put like a bunch of pillows over your head. Put a blanket over your head. Put everything over your head. And I need you to listen up, listen close, and listen carefully. I just gotta make sure nobody can see, nobody can hear nothing. But look. Nah, I shouldn't say it. I shouldn't say it. I don't know. I might. Oof. Because if I say this, the game might actually be good. Nah, I want to say it. But should I? Should I? All right. I don't know. Okay. I'll say it. Whenever you put up barriers to entry for people to play the game, they are less likely to play the game. Meaning, if I want to just play this game offline against bots, for example, having to log on to the internet puts in a barrier for play. You know why? Because, for example, what if I have terrible internet? What if I'm at my community center and I want to play this game, but the internet in there is trash, or I'm not allowed to hook my console to the Wi-Fi, but I'm allowed to hook my console up to the TV and play the game. But I got to play only games that don't have internet required. Guess whose game is getting skipped over? Yours. And you know what happens when people find reasons or are forced to not play your game? They want to play your game less. You know what happens when people play your game less? They're less likely to buy something or want to think about buying something. You know what happens when people are less likely to think about buying something? They don't. You know what happens when people don't buy stuff? You go broke. You lose money on a game that otherwise could have been profitable. Remove them barriers to entry, bro. Remove the barriers to entry and the barriers to playing this game, and like a lot more people will play this game a lot more often. And not only on top of wanting to play this game a lot more often, like I said, the whole snowball effect of playing it more gives you more money, so on and so forth. And your struggle with this game right now is that financially it fucking sucks. And I know it's pretty hard to give yourself a second chance because you already took your one ability to give yourself a second chance and fucked it up. So the only real thing you could do, honestly speaking, is do that again. But this time when you come back, make sure everything is fixed up. Make sure all the suggestions I have and that I just gave you are taken seriously. Because if you don't take them suggestions I gave you seriously, you're cooked, nigga. You're cooked. But Insider Game reached out to Warner Bros. Games developer Player First for comment on the rumor. Should a response be received, it will be amended to the story, but currently there isn't one. The idea that Multiversus could be heading towards a tipping point shouldn't come as much of a surprise to players and outsiders alike, since the game launched with higher player numbers nearly 3 years ago. Its popularity has dwindled. Yeah, 2022 is now 2025, so nearly 3 years ago. Its popularity has dwindled, and the game saw a peak player count on Steam of over 100,000 players before it fell by 99% within its first few. And I want to also point out, speaking of that, Multiversus. I want to point out something in that, because people said I was fucking bugging. Multiversus. Oh, I want to see when the game fully released. May 28th, 2024. So this game is clicking, as you can see above me. I'm gonna click the calendar button and see how many clicks it takes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this game came out 8 months ago, not even a year. Let's see how much the dip has dropped. Look at that. This is just a line that has a big drop off and continuously goes down. 600 people are online right now, right? And one common thing I seen a few months ago and whatnot was people comparing the numbers of this falling down to the numbers of Tekken, right? Let's see how many people are playing Tekken 8 currently. Yes, go ahead, check if the connection is secure, because it is. Tekken 8, boom. Let's see how many people are playing Tekken right now. 5,000 on just Steam. On just Steam, by my rough, very, very rough estimates, the same amount of people are probably playing this across all platforms. So it's 600 people on Multiversus and 5,000 people on Tekken 8. Now, again, Let me remind you, fighting games are usually more played on console than PC. I think there's a shift going on, but that's another conversation for another day. But most of the people who play fighting games typically play on console. So that being said, there's probably double these numbers and better on PlayStation. If we double this, 5, I'm not gonna do the exact number. So let's say 12, let's say 10,000. Let's round down a little bit. 10,000 people are playing across all the other platforms, and don't forget, this is on Epic too. That's already more, like, this is already more than Multiversus, and if more people play on console, imagine how many significantly more people are playing this game on console. A crazy number. All right, and let's look at it. A year. You see that line for this? It's going down, but it's not going down as hard. All right, it's not going down as hard. You see how this is gradual, and the other graph, the other chart, whatever, was a little bit biased because this has a higher peak, but like higher total peak, but their percentage retention is better because Multiversus went from 100,000 to 600. They went from 50,000 to 5,000. They contain in 10% of their player base. So about 90% of the people who playing this, like played 12 months ago, aren't playing. But when you start getting into percentages, the numbers can be deceiving and misleading in certain cases. I'm aware of that, but in this case, it's not. A higher amount of people are still playing this game. About 10% of the people who started playing this game are still playing, versus Multiversus is only 1%, and that 1% that are still playing is under 1,000. This is 5 times higher than 1,000. 5.721 times exact, to be exact, higher than 1,000 people are playing right now. And then every time a new character comes out, it goes back up, it stabilizes, goes back up, stabilizes. It had a little bit of a downward trend, went back up, stayed up for a little bit, goes back up, and look right here, it's going through another dip, but it went even higher back up. So it's like, look, the numbers did go down, but what percentage stayed? How many people played this game and liked it? A good majority, because the 24-hour peak is still 7 times 1,000, and Multiversus can't even hit 1,000 once. So I want y'all to really like keep that in mind when I talk about Multiversus. I don't talk about Multiversus downfall to hate. I talk about it in the sense of like, yo, bro, this was a very, like, all right, I look at Multiversus numbers dropping off and falling down as this. Imagine you have a peanut allergy and you go to the store knowing full well you got a peanut allergy. You buy a canister of peanuts. You start gobbling that nut. You go guac, 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 guac. You got all types of nut in your throat, swallowing nut down your throat, just all in your throat, just nut all in your stomach, jiggling around in your stomach fluids. You got nut and bile sitting in your stomach sack, right? And let's say you're not on no Angicell type stuff, right? You're not on no Angicell type stuff. You want to live a long, happy, healthy life, but you went to the store, you brought a jar of nut, and you came home and you swallowed, gurgled, chewed, and ate that nut up the best way you could. And now you're having an allergic reaction in the hospital. Talk about, I don't know why, but I'm itchy all over the place. I've been throwing up all over the place. I've been pooping out blood. And they ask you, well, what did you eat? Last thing I ate was some peanuts. They look at your records. You said the last thing you ate was what? Last thing I ate was some peanuts. Like, you know you're allergic to nuts, right? Yeah, but I just wanted some. Like the amount of amazement and wonder the doctor would look at you with in that scenario, that's the type of amazement and wonder I look at this whole Multiversus scenario with, because it's like, yo, you're Overwatch, and the big fall off of Overwatch was extremely avoidable as well.